Good afternoon, everybody. This is your proud principal of Marshall High School. We're going to start the celebration with a welcome from our own school board member, Ms. Jackie Goldberg.
Thank you very much, Principal Garcia, and to all of the students and their parents and families. Let me tell you how proud I am of each and every one of you graduating seniors. You know, this was a year not like perhaps any other senior year. It meant that you had to overcome obstacles that were enormous. Not being with your friends, being locked up more or less in our homes, having sort of no connection socially, having to spend hours looking at Zoom screens and paying attention to classes, taking tests and writing papers. My goodness, the resilience that you seniors have shown is actually inspiring. And I want to tell you, even though I'm so sorry that you had to go through this, I think in spite of all of it, it has given you the strength and resilience to put up with many of life's challenges yet ahead of you. Sometimes out of very terrible things, some good things come. And I think that's a good thing. The seniors graduating today, or not today, but very soon, will have survived, have completed successfully their high school career in spite of all the odds that said, gee, I'm not sure this is really going to happen, kid. You did it. And we are inspired and proud of it. Now I want to just remind you of one other thing. We call graduation ceremonies commencements. It means it's not the end, it's the beginning. And that's what this is about today. This is about the beginning of the next step. Some of you are going to the military. Some of you are going to get trained to put solar roofs on our houses and businesses so that we don't end up having no earth left after we burn up or freeze. Some of you are going to go to 2-year community colleges and others to 4-year colleges. But everyone here today is doing something, commencing, beginning something, the next part of your life. That makes me so very proud to represent you and your families. I know that your parents and family members gave you all the help they could. And they were struggling too. We were all struggling in this business, but we see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm here to just say congratulations, to share my pride with you at your accomplishments, to share my feelings of being inspired by your resilience and by looking forward to the great things that you are commencing on as you leave Marshall High School. So I want to thank Principal Garcia and all your counselors and teachers and everybody really who have reached out and helped you make sure that you got through this very difficult year. My final note, you're 16 and over, get vaccinated. You don't even need an appointment in LA County anymore. Why do I say that? If we get everybody vaccinated, you can have a much more realistic commencement ceremony if we have a graduating class that is all vaccinated. So go out, get the shots in the arm. It's okay. I'm old. I did it. It was fine. And thank you very much, principal and staff, for letting me share these few words with your graduating seniors.
Thank you very much. Ms. Goldberg is a longtime supporter of Marshall High School, and we appreciate your words. So there's 243 people involved. If you want to take a minute to text your friends, because we are going to give a update on graduation. So text your friends. I see the count is going up. I want to also acknowledge that our Miss Brian, go ahead and put the picture of our superintendent. So Frances Baez is our local district superintendent. She wanted me to thank you or congratulate you, excuse me, on her behalf. And so there are, I think, 30 high schools in her district. And so she can't make all of the ceremonies today, but we will share this recording with her. In addition, Norma Spencer is the supervisor for our area of Los Feliz schools, and she is called a Communities of School Administrator. And she obviously is also very supportive of Marshall High School. And she's on this call to see all of you and see the video. And I'm going to say this a few times already, excuse me, a few more times, is if you haven't sent in your photo, please do. We can still get it in for the graduation ceremony. So what we're going to do right now next is to have a few, not a few, we're going to have 2 alumni give you some encouraging words. They are recent alumni, recent graduates. And when they are through, we're going to show, we have about 100 of you sent in your photos. We're going to show the slideshow. Hopefully it will motivate the rest of you, the other 500 who haven't sent in their photos, to do so next week. And then Mr. Neely and I will talk about graduation. And we're going to have a couple more, at least one, probably 2 more senior assemblies like this. And we're going to do it at this time. We don't want people to be confused. This is advisory number 2. But if you're at home, we definitely want you to join us. And so now I'm going to call on Ms. Bryan. You want to introduce the 2 people you've invited to speak to us today?
Absolutely. So today we welcome Eric Sang-Young Ko and Aram Martsorian, and I hope I'm saying your names correctly. They're both alums from 2016 that I worked with. And Eric recently reached out to me, and that's how we've reunited to talk about his graduation from college this fall. And so I would really like for you to hear his journey through this process. And he's going to take you back to what his experience was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, in the same situation that you're in now. So go ahead, Eric, and Aram, you can follow up after.
Thank you very much, everyone, for having me here, speak to you all on behalf of Class of 2016. Thank you, Ms. Bryan, and thank you, Dr. Garcia, for having me here to speak a little bit of my story. So Ms. Bryan actually wanted me to talk about my experience with college application and my journey through college. To be honest, it's not the best story. For Class of 2016, I graduated as a valedictorian. With that GPA, I applied to 20 schools, including UCLA, Berkeley, Cornell, Stanford, Caltech, MIT, and more. And guess what? I got rejected by 20 colleges. I just want to tell you all that that a lesson that I learned from this experience is that that's not the end of the world, really. Okay, I had to restart from everything from community college. I had to start working, and I had a transition that I didn't want it, not that I anticipated. I was just not prepared for it. But as a community college student, I went in as a mechanical engineer, and I had more time than I thought that I would. Being in a 2-year college, I had more time to explore different subjects, different classes that I wanted to take. Then I found out that I like computer science more than mechanical engineering. Another thing that that I want to share is that as I went through that journey, I met a lifetime mentor, which I don't expect to get from a UC environment where a professor is managing 300 students at a time. And then I transferred to UC Irvine as a computer science major. And right now I'm about to join internships and jobs. I'm getting offers here and there, trying to negotiate for the rates and everything. And Ms. Bryan also wanted me to tell one more thing about the transition from high school to college. Like I said, I had a pretty I had a higher expectation of myself going into college, but it just didn't go just as I planned. Okay, and I just want to say that we all end up somewhere, and it might not always go as planned. But any case, please know that it's not the end of the world, like I said before. And where you end up doesn't define you. I just want to tell you that. And your value is not defined by where you are, but really by what you do and who you are. Okay, and going to community college is not always a bad option for those of you who are thinking of going to community college. I want to add one more thing. It's really, really easy to fall behind when you get into college. So you got to get ready with a serious time management. That's one thing. One advice that I want to give to everyone. And for those of you who are going to community college, I want to say that some of the courses in community college can be, and actually are, in my case, harder than classes in some of the four-year universities. As comparing the same C++ classes that I took in Pasadena City College, it was about three times harder than the equivalent class I took in University of Irvine. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share for all of you.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, I want to congratulate everyone for your achievement for 4 years in high school, and I wish you good luck for your future endeavors. Thank you very much for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
And quickly, Aram, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Miss Aram, I mean, or not Miss Aram, Aram and Ms. Bryan, hold on a second. I just want to thank Eric. I think that message, and thank you for being brave enough to tell everybody that you applied to some of the top colleges. You were our top student with the top GPA, and you were rejected. You did have a setback. But what I'm hearing from you is that you didn't let that, stop you. You continued forward. There are other pathways to graduate from a University of California, and you went to community college. Some students don't know that the community colleges have honors programs that can help you get into prestigious universities after the 2 years. And so Eric kept plugging away, did not get depressed about that first set of rejections, and now he's reaping the benefit of his hard work. And he's graduating from University of California and getting job offers and internship offers. So Eric, I don't know you, but you make me proud to be a principal of Marshall and know that you went through this experience right around the time I was getting here. And then just one more shout out, Eric, about time management. Guys, to our students, it doesn't get easier when you leave Marshall. So work on that time management. Yeah. So I am very touched and impressed by your message to our students. And I know that you are busy. And so I thank you for taking your time to share your experiences. I think it's very powerful to hear it from somebody your age. So thank you very much. And now for Aram, you want to say a few things? Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to this panel. I really appreciate seeing Ms. Bryan, Dr. Garcia, as well as Jackie Goldberg. I was actually incredibly excited about her campaign specifically, because I follow a lot of DSA. Anyway, so I had a relatively conventional path in that I specifically wanted to go to college. I applied to a number of Ivy Leagues, as well as UCLA, Riverside, Davis, and Berkeley. So overall, it was 15 colleges and universities. I only got accepted to 4. The 3 of the 4 were ones that I was not that interested in. But the 2 that I was really aiming for, and it's a really weird dichotomy, one was University of Chicago, because I wanted to explore political science and philosophy, and the other was Hampshire College. And Hampshire College is, a notoriously tiny college, half the size of Marshall, in the woods. But it is part of a consortium in the Amherst colleges. And so I was recommended to apply there by a Marshall alum that was 1 year older than me. And he said, everything that you're talking about in terms of what you want in an education, how you're trying to build your own curriculum, it's here, go for it. And I remember applying, talking to more people at Hampshire and realizing this really was the place for me, right? And realizing that just because people don't know about a certain college, just because it's very small on a certain map, it can still be one of the most rewarding experiences you ever have. I was very fortunate enough to, actually, I'll go back to how I was feeling during the college application process. Incredibly nervous. I was trying to mix multiple intellectual ideas. I was like, I want to mix all these things and be like a Renaissance person, blah, blah, blah. And, I didn't really have that clarity that I would find once I was in college. I specifically went on the route of international relations, and that was very like clear to see once I was there. But before, yeah, I was very confused. And so for anyone who's like thinking about where they're at while they're going to college, like, you have time to explore. You absolutely have time to realize who you can be and what you're trying to do in the world as you interact with more people. One, I think the like core piece of advice I would give to people who are going to college is to, wherever you end up, if you're going to college, although this works especially outside, is just take as much initiative as you can, regardless of your circumstances, because there will be people at better universities that aren't attuned to the opportunities that are possible, and there are people at smaller colleges, at universities, that because they enter with such a sense of purpose or just determination, they're able to network the way that they need to in order to develop professionally. They're able to engage with their communities in more fulfilling ways that actually build both themselves as individuals while also making an impact early on. Finding internships from early on and getting out sometimes you have to do unpaid work in certain fields and industries. And so getting that out of the way early on, and being in different environments that could really be informative for you, right? It's easy to think that, it's easy to be disconnected from the world when you're in a campus. And you don't really realize where exactly you can apply yourself. So doing internships as soon as possible is very key. And I think like the ultimate lesson I took from the college application process was to not take any of the rejections personally. There's so many arbitrary factors and decisions that are made outside of your control, and none of them are reflective of your adequacy or your talent or your ingenuity. There are incredible people who've made an impact on the world, whether or not they went to college, whether or not their college was prestigious. In the job application process, you'll see this too. People think it's you need like the watermark or the trademark of a specific college or university, but what stands out most clearly are the skills that you develop, the impact that you've made in your community, and the purpose and goals that you approach the world with. So I think I would really advise any student thinking of what they're trying to do in their lives to focus, the larger scheme, focus on, again, what you're trying to do in the world, so that and to not lose sight of that among these like smaller details of where you're at in university, or if you got like the best GPA among your friends. Yeah, that'll be all, I think. Again, really
Aram,
appreciate.
thank you very much for taking the time to speak to our students. I am also very proud to be associated with you via just being the Marshall person. And thank you for your time. I want to, first of all, just a time out. I see the flags behind you. Speaking as the principal at Marshall, we're all very happy that President Biden, acknowledged this, what we've been trying to get done for 107 years. So to go on to what you were talking about, I want to also, to my students, we have 2 graduates who say, don't let the rejection define you. And don't even let the school you end up going to define you. It's about who you are and what you make out of it. So he didn't get accepted to the schools he was really thinking about. And again, that didn't stop him. And he went to a school around, I wouldn't use the word notorious with Hampshire. So I still think that's good. And I want to do just a timeout for advertisement. Aram mentioned he had to choose between Hampshire and one of the top universities in the United States, University of Chicago. It's a tough decision. I know a lot of you, I've spoken to a few of you who are also trying to figure out where you're going to go. You got accepted to 2 or 3. Maybe you're waiting for one more. Maybe you got rejected to one. We have Mr. Rico and Miss Bryan who are available to help you, counsel you on making a choice. You can access them through the links on our website through Calendly. The second thing that Aram said that stood out for me was use college to explore. Explore who you want to be. Your goals might change about what your major is going to be or how you want to focus it, to get internships, study abroad. So that's the thing that Aram said about exploring. And I just am so happy the two of you took the time to talk about it, talk to us, and good luck in your near future. And when you are super wealthy, donate to Marshall. Okay. Mr. Rico put into the chat box the link to reach Miss Bryan and Mr. Rico. I just want to say to our students that I want to reiterate, I'm going to give a shorter version and less less articulate, less smooth than Miss Goldberg gave. But I am also proud of you. Please remember that you have persevered through a once in a decade experience. Mr. Biden talked about that yesterday or the day before. This is once in a century experience in America. And quite literally, your grandkids are going to be asking you, what was your experience being a high school student during this pandemic? And you're going to be able to tell them that you survived. Very proud of you. Okay, Ms. Bryant, go ahead and show the video. Well, thank you very much. So let's do a shout out.
Wow.
Ms. Goldberg couldn't help herself.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, beautiful. Second, that's why I'm proud. Number 3, thank you, Yearbook and Miss Simone. I want to reiterate, please, if you did not send your photo, you see how beautiful this was or this is, please talk to your friends and have them send it to barristergrad@gmail.com as soon as possible. If you have already submitted and you end up changing your mind on the college, you may send an update. We need you to do that soon, but we want to play this slideshow at graduation for all 600, not just 100. Also, Ms. Bryan, when we're done here, when we're done talking about graduation, I like to end the assembly by repeating it. I saw that some of your slides went in kind of quickly, and we're going to repeat it. We're still working on this, so I can't stress enough. Awesome for the 100 of you sent it in. That's what makes us so happy to be here with you. And for the other 500, we're still waiting for yours. And in the chat box, Aram gave a shout out. Hold on a second. Really satisfied to see the range of campuses and majors that students are interested in. So he says that as an alum. Another student just wanted to say that my name wasn't spelled correctly. Not sure if that can be changed. Yes, Mercado, yes. So if you saw that something was incorrect or that you want to change it, resubmit it to Yearbook and they'll work on it. If you wait too late, it's gonna, we might not get them all done for graduation. So yes, of course, Ms. Dillian wrote yes. And one of the people working on it put in the link again in the chat box. So thank you very much. Awesome, awesome. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about graduation. This isn't the only time we're gonna talk about this, but I want to go over some things and we might actually do a poll. We were working with Ms. Bryan on this. Ms. Bryan, do we have the poll set up? Okay, not yet. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so go ahead and just take it down for right now. You just hold on, everybody. We're not doing the poll yet. I have to explain. All right. Okay, well, it's too late. All right, so on your screen, you see the poll. We are looking at 2 time frames. The afternoon time frame, it will be hotter outside, even if we start at 5:30. The morning one, it'll be much cooler. So this is just to get a sense of what you think. We will ask your parents. I can conduct a poll with the phone call, the Blackboard Connect. And just to give us an idea, Ms. Danilian and I are planning the ceremony. So we will make the final decision about the time frame. So let's keep this open. Let's see, we've got 60. Yeah, we can maybe 30 more seconds and then we'll talk about graduation. Ms. Ritfo wrote fantastic and inspiring. I agree, Ms. Ritfo. Okay.
And can I just add, so Saturday, May 1st is National Decision Day. So you still have time to think about where you're planning to enroll. So if you're still trying to figure things out, know that you do have that time until 11:59 p.m. Saturday, May 1st.
And also, Dr. Garcia, I want to add that some people are asking, will this video be available at the graduation? I would like to have it, how usually at the beginning we show something. But again, it will be on a recorded version online. So please submit more videos. And obviously, yes, we include this in our presentation.
1 second. Just put something in the box. Okay, so don't send this video. All we need is one appropriate photo.
Yes.
All of the photos were appropriate. We need you to write down college, your full name, and your major, and yearbook staff will work on it. The longer you wait, the less likely they'll get it in for graduation. We are not likely to show it at graduation because of the lack of a screen, but we want to put this on our website. When you pick up your cap and gowns, we don't have that date yet. We will ask you to fill out a consent photo release form, as we've been asking you for a year. But I want to be super clear, by submitting your photo, you are consenting to allowing us to put that beautiful slide of you on our website. Somebody wrote, what if our major is undecided? That is totally fine. If you remember from looking at the slideshow, there were, I don't know, I saw like 5 or 6 who wrote undecided. We call it undeclared. So let's see, Mr. Neely, this is what we've been talking about. It's 49 to 55.
Oh my gosh, I was hoping it's 10 in the morning, guys. It's hot. Why do you want?
We still have to talk to parents.
Yeah,
And we'll look, but we're gonna work on the best we can.
okay.
Okay, we can end the polling now. Ms. Bryan, thank you so much for setting that up.
Thank you.
Okay, so please tell your friends about the photo. Tell them that even if you're undecided of the college, this is not a contract. This is just, oh, we didn't share the results. It is just telling us, this is what you're thinking. You might, as Ms. Bryan just said, May 1st, you might commit to a different school. Just send it in to Barrister Grad. And Karen Kapadia, yes, you just send it in to barristergrad@gmail.com. And that's how we're doing it. Okay. Ms. Bryan, are you able to take the poll out? Oh, maybe, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay. It's actually not cooler at night, Alyssa. It is just the heat radiates on that field, but it's a close one. We'll see how we go. Okay, so here we go on the overview of graduation. Currently, we are allowed to have an outdoor graduation ceremony, and we are proceeding with that process. I think there is very, very low chance that will be taken away from us. So 99%, we're going to have an outdoor graduation. You are obviously not required to come. We encourage you to come. It'll be more fun. Currently, the rules are that you would come and wear a mask. It is possible that the district might rescind that if the county of LA stays in yellow category. But we don't know that for sure right now. We are limited by parking on our campus. So we are going to have 2 ceremonies on 2 days. We will combine 2 school programs on one day and 2 school programs on the other day. We are currently planning on June 14th and 15th. In timeout, I will put this in writing and have this available to you. We are asking that students come with the families because parking is limited. But if a student does drive themselves, we will have the parking lots open. But we're asking that people try to work with me on mitigating traffic in the neighborhood. We're gonna have other assemblies where we get into more details. But for right now, what will happen on whatever time Mr. Nilian and I choose, you would line up in the quad, two sides of the gym facing the bleachers. And we would proceed from the back of the school. Your parents will be seated on the field. We are only going to be able to limit you, families, to 2 people from each family. Again, we do not have enough parking. Right now, the district is requiring or limiting us to 2 people, and that's what we're going to have to stay with. We will make arrangements to video record the entire event, and we will put that on our website. I am very clear that I want you to be in the bleachers so that you will not be in the sun. Again, when we get to the details, we'll go over this again, but parents will need to wear sunglasses and sunblock at either time, if it's 10:30 or 5. Yes, Dr. Hernandez, you're gonna have to go to that meeting for me, and I'll join you shortly. Let's see.
Hey, Dr. Garcia, can I answer based on the questions were asked? Because they're still coming and I want to summarize them.
Of course.
So one of the major questions is, yes, I want to make it clear. First of all, there is no prom this year. And I know many of you writing that some schools are doing it. And I don't know which schools are doing it. I don't know which districts they belong. I really cannot answer for other schools. We're not gonna have prom, that's one thing. We're not gonna have grad night. I'm sorry, we're not. And we're not gonna graduate at the Greek. So we're graduating and the graduation is on campus. And again, the dates are 14 and 15, like Dr. Garcia said. The time is gonna be determined based on the survey we got from you and from your parents, because remember, parents are coming. Also, very often the question was here, how many people are allowed to be at graduation per actually family. So we're saying 2 guests per student. One more time again, like Dr. Garcia said, parking is a huge issue, is a parking, obviously. Another question is, we are gonna have, remember we have school-wide English and magnet and math SBAC testing is gonna happen. So seniors, since you're not gonna be involved in that testing, we're gonna have at least one assembly, and it might be combined with a rehearsal. So we're gonna do that. Don't worry, we're gonna show you a map, how you're gonna come from the bleachers, where are you gonna go? Don't worry about that. Another question, and I see your concerns a lot. So packages, if you ordered packages, some people got them, some people didn't. Please, I'm gonna put again in the email, and I'm gonna put on Schoology, our financial manager, student store manager, Mr. Owens' email and a phone number. I'm preparing FAQs with Mr. Moran. Please check your Schoology, the year of 2021. I'm gonna answer all those questions there. Some people got packages, some people didn't get packages. That's another question about cap and gown. We are gonna have distribution. As soon as we get cap and gowns, we're gonna let you know. Check your Schoology, please. That's the main way for us to communicate with you. The major difference is right now is that cap and gowns are gonna be distributed. They're gonna be free for you. No charge, no rental, no return. The district is giving you those cap and gowns. Again, another major thing, you're not decorating cap and gown if you're gonna go to stage, but stalls and whatever the awards are allowed for you to actually have on you when you graduate. I'm not gonna take more time for separate answers and questions, but again, have assemblies. But those were the major questions I saw. And one more question was about who is graduating. It's by the programs. As of now, June 14 is SAS and SES, and June 15 is Magnet and MLA. I know you're saying why and how we combine programs. Guys, they go by the numbers. I cannot put different programs together because we cannot have more than 300 kids on a bleacher. So we divided them evenly, okay? I hope I answered your questions. If you have more questions, email me please separately, and watch out for, and please follow the Schoology. I promised you on Monday, you will have all FAQs together. Thank you for asking questions because this allows me to see what bothers you a lot, okay?
Thank you very much. I did put a few more things in the chat, but most of them were repeats of what we had
Yeah.
earlier. And I think we're good to go. We're going to need to end this up. I would ask that I say we can end this with re-showing that video or the video slide that the yearbook made. Miss Brian, are you able to show the slideshow? And then when it ends, we will stop the meeting and we'll see you again. All right, thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon. And maybe we'll actually see you on campus on May 10th. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Ram. And let's see who else. Thank you, Miss Brian.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Brian. Thank you, everybody who came. Thank you, thank you.